What if someone walks up to you in English, smiling, clearly happy to see you, and you know one thing immediately? You know that you know them. You know the face. You know the voice. You maybe even know where you met them. But the name? Gone. Completely gone.
Yes, and the worst part is, they definitely remember yours. So now the conversation has already started, they're talking warmly, you're smiling politely, and inside your brain is running around like someone dropped all the files on the floor. You have the face, you have the memory, you have the panic, but you do not have the name.
So today, we're gonna fix that.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily.
This is the place where we help you speak English in a way that feels natural, calm, and human.
Hi Sam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. A little tired, honestly. Not in a dramatic way, just one of those slow brain, normal heart days. Everything's fine, but my thoughts are arriving 1 minute later than usual. How about you?
I'm okay too. A bit busy, a bit amused actually, because something happened earlier and it fits this topic perfectly.
Oh no, was it one of those face without the name moments?
Yes, exactly that. And it happened in the worst possible way. Very politely.
Those are the most dangerous ones. Please tell me everything.
I was leaving a cafe this morning, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, trying to look like a person with a simple, organized life, and then someone said, "Lily, oh wow, it's been so long." And I looked up, and yes, I knew her. I absolutely knew her. Not as a stranger, not vaguely. I knew I had spoken to her before. I even remember the place. I think it was a birthday dinner or maybe a friend's housewarming, but the name? Nothing. Just wind.
Yes, your brain was holding the whole file cabinet except for the label on the folder.
Exactly. And she was so warm, so natural, so absolutely not confused, which somehow made me more confused.
Yes, because now you feel like the only person in the scene without the information.
Exactly. So I did what many people do in those moments. I smiled too warmly. I said, "Oh my gosh, yes, it's so good to see you," which is not wrong, but it is the beginning of a very dangerous road.
Yes, that is survival English. Very bright, very vague, very unsafe.
Exactly. Then she asked how I'd been. I asked how she'd been. We were both doing well. Nobody was healthy. Nobody was using names. For about 40 seconds, it almost worked. And then she said, "You remember Nina, right?" And suddenly there was a second person, and I had one thought only. Please let nobody ask me to introduce anybody.
The second person, that is when the real pressure begins.
Yes, and I realized this is exactly the kind of moment learners need English for. Not a perfect speech, not genius vocabulary, just one calm human sentence to save the moment.
Exactly. That is the real skill here. Not remembering every name forever, just knowing how to recover when you don't.
And that's our topic today. What to say in English when you forgot someone's name, without panic, without weird fake confidence, and without making the moment bigger than it needs to be.
And before we continue, if you enjoy these kinds of real-life English conversations, please like the video.
And subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily for more easy English podcast episodes.
And if you know someone learning English, share this episode with them too.
Okay. Let's start with the first thing people often do wrong. They panic, and then they perform.
Yes, that strange, over-friendly mode. The one where your face becomes very warm, your sentences become very general, and you start speaking like a person trying to escape a polite trap.
Exactly. Hey, you! Amazing to see you. You look great, as always. How is life?
Yes, suddenly every sentence sounds like it was written by someone avoiding nouns.
Exactly. And the more you panic, the stranger the conversation becomes.
That is the first big lesson today. The more you panic, the stranger you sound.
So instead of performing, the safer thing is something much simpler. A little honesty, a warm tone, and one clear request.
Yes, let's talk about the safest first recovery lines, because this is where everything gets easier.
Lines like, "This is a little embarrassing, but my name just slipped my mind. I know we've met before. Remind me of your name. I should know this, but remind me of your name."
Those work because they're honest but light. You're not making the moment dramatic, you're just naming what happened and moving forward.
If someone says, "Oh wow, Lily, it's been forever," you can smile and say, "This is a little embarrassing, but my name just slipped my mind."
That sounds so much better than 10 seconds of aggressive friendliness.
Yes, it's much safer than emotional over-smiling.
That is the second big lesson today. Honest, light self-awareness sounds much better than fake confidence.
Now let's talk about the natural pattern, because there's a shape to a good recovery.
Yes, a very natural recovery often sounds like this: light honesty, warm tone, clear request.
First, light honesty. You admit the moment without making it huge. Then, warm tone, so the other person feels included, not rejected. Then, clear request. You actually ask for the name again.
So it sounds like, "This is a little embarrassing, but my name just slipped my mind. I know we've met before. Remind me of your name again? My brain just blanked for a second. Tell me your name again."
That's the teaching core of this episode. Light honesty, warm tone, clear request.
And that is the third big lesson today. Light honesty feels much more natural than pretending.
And this is a good place to say something important. Forgetting a name is normal. Not ideal, but normal. Even confident people do it. Even warm, friendly, socially skilled people do it.
Yes, you do not need perfect memory. You need calm recovery English.
Now let's talk about tone, because sometimes you want to sound softer or a little more playful.
Yes, a soft version might be, "I'm so sorry, your name just slipped my mind." Or, "Remind me of your name again."
A lightly funny version might be, "My brain has your face, but not the label." Or, "I know this is awkward, but help me out. Your name again?"
Light humor can help, but only if it still feels warm. The goal is not to do comedy, the goal is to reduce tension.
That's the fourth big lesson today. A little warmth or humor can make the moment easier if it still feels kind.
Now, let's make this more practical, because the tone changes depending on who the person is.
Yes, someone from work, an old classmate, a neighbor, a friend of a friend, someone older, someone you only met recently. The same problem, but slightly different tone.
At work, calmer and more polished usually sounds better. "I'm sorry, remind me of your name again." Or, "I know we've met before, but your name just slipped my mind."
With someone casual, you can sound lighter. "I know this is awkward, but I'm blanking on your name." Or, "Help me out. Your name again?"
With someone older or more formal, it can sound better to be a little more respectful. "I'm sorry, I've gone blank for a second. Could you remind me of your name?"
That is the fifth big lesson today. Same problem, different tone.
Now let's talk about something realistic. Sometimes you need 5 seconds before asking directly.
Yes, a short bridge is okay. Not a long fake performance, just a short bridge.
Things like, "It's good to see you. How have you been? How do you know Sam again?"
Those are fine if they are short and natural, but if you stay in fake safety mode too long, the conversation becomes stranger.
Yes, because after 3 minutes of careful name avoidance, you may sound like a politician meeting a cloud.
Yes, very warm, very general, very suspicious.
That is the 6th big lesson today. A short bridge is fine, a long fake performance is not.
Now let's talk about the most dangerous moment of all, the introduce them trap.
Yes, the moment when you forgot the name and now you need to introduce them to somebody else. That is advanced panic.
Yes, that is panic with choreography.
This is where simple English works best. You two have met, right? I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Remind me. Sorry, say your name again for me.
Notice how simple those are, because the pressure is high, so the English should get simpler, not more clever.
That is the 7th big lesson today. When the pressure gets higher, the English should get simpler.
Okay, now let's do the same situation in 2 different ways. First, panic and awkward avoidance, then warm, honest recovery.
Let's do it.
You see someone at a cafe. They clearly know you. Awkward version first.
"Hey, Lily, right? It's so good to see you again."
"Oh my gosh, yes, so good to see you too. You look great. How is everything?"
"Everything's good. Wow, it's been ages."
Yes, truly, yes. So many times have passed?
Yes, at that point, the conversation is alive, but not in a healthy way.
Yes, too much emotional fog. Now the natural version.
Hey, Lily, right? It's so good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. It's a little embarrassing, but your name slipped my mind for a second.
Daniel.
Daniel, yes, thank you. I knew it.
Much better. Warm, honest, finished quickly. No need for a 3-minute performance.
Let's do the introduce them trap too.
Great to see you again. This is my friend Maya.
Oh, yes, and this is, well, wonderful person.
Yes, absolutely not. Now, the natural version. Great to see you again. This is my friend Maya.
So good to see you. I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Remind me.
Daniel.
Daniel, yes. Maya, this is Daniel.
Simple, clean, safe. Exactly what you want.
So, what have we really learned today?
We learned that panic makes the moment stranger.
We learned that light honesty sounds better than fake confidence.
We learned the natural pattern. Light honesty, warm tone, clear request.
We learned that a little warmth or humor can make the moment easier.
We learned that different relationships need different tone.
And we learned that when the pressure gets higher, the English should get simpler.
Yes, forgetting a name is awkward, but it does not have to become a disaster. Sometimes the best way out of an awkward moment is simply one calm human sentence.
You do not need perfect memory to recover well. You just need calm, warm, natural English.
And now we want to hear from you.
Which recovery phrase from today do you want to remember most?
Or tell us, what is harder for you, asking directly or staying calm first?
We love reading your comments, and it's a great way to practice real English.
And if this episode helped you, share it with one friend today.
And don't forget to subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily if you're new here.
Thank you so much for listening today. We believe in you. Keep practicing. You can do this.
See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.